Hi everybody and welcome to this video. This is going to be a video about your spiritual gifts, and you might have more than one spiritual gift, but where you are in your life watching this, at this stage in your life, if you're drawn to this video, you want to choose a card number. And so this is something that's going on with you now. It certainly is a gift that you have activated at this stage in your life, and this will help you, most likely help you complete a life purpose, help somebody, help yourself as well. So all you have to do now is to close your eyes and meditate and pick a number: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. Now these cards you see here are for the bundle. They are clarifying cards. The bundle subscribers get extra because they pay a monthly subscription. They get all my courses and they get longer videos as well. So when you do this, if you're part of my subscription, you get a clarifying card that will help you understand the first card you got a bit better. So I'm going to start with number 1. Again, if you haven't picked your number yet, pause the video and meditate on it. Leopard. The leopard means transference. So that means that you have the ability, the spiritual gifts, to help people release the deepest, darkest fears and phobias. You could work with people who have gone through a lot of trauma. You could be helping people release their fear of dying, and release their grief around death and losing someone. And also people who have painful memories from the past, including abuse and persecution. This is helping people heal from painful memories. So some of you could work as counselors, but also for those of you who want to go on the more alternative side, you could be hypnotherapists, helping people living with past life issues, become regression therapists. You are someone who help people transform. And you're also very good at adapting to the environment, especially ever-changing environment. So you have a reason to be here, and that is to help people heal. You could be a healer, a powerful healer actually. And you're most likely also very interested in the afterlife. Some of you could be mediums as well. And this is why it's good to do the clarifying cards, but that can help you hone in on what this means for you. But for a lot of you, you're going to be so intuitive as well that you know what this means. Some of you are also going to help people release a lot of karmic stuff, including spiritual attacks, psychic attacks, and curses. And you do that through unconditional love. Unconditional love is nothing is stronger than unconditional love. Nothing is stronger than love. Love is all there is in the end. So once you help people connect to that energy, a lot of their fears and phobias will simply melt away. So for a lot of you who pick number 1, you're going to get a very strong connection to the Creator, and that will make you fearless. Okay, for those of you who picked card group 2, 2 got the Crystal Fairy. So these are people who have a strong connection with crystals and fairies, and who work very much with the nature kingdom, elementals, fairies, who many of you will have clairaudient abilities and certainly you can fine-tune them and you can train up your clairaudience. And you can tune into different frequencies. In this group also you have people who are very connected to the earth, who feel very drawn to certain places where there is a higher vibration due to the grid. And you'll understand where there are portals as well in nature. You'll understand how to manifest through thoughts. That is something that comes natural to you. Many of you feel very drawn to live very close to nature, and interestingly enough, in this group as well are people who are very good with technology, who are drawn to work with technology and bridge your love of nature with your use of technology to get a certain message out there. Communication is important. Okay, so for group 3, you get Pegasus. For Pegasus, these are leaders and teachers actually. So for people who have Pegasus, it's very important that you get to feel like you're achieving. You're a very effective leader and natural teacher of whatever field you're interested in, and it's very important that you find what that is if you haven't already. Because you're meant to master you know something very unique and special that you will then teach others so they feel like they are achieving. Many of you will become teachers, managers, and leaders. And many of you will also help the world move forward by resolving conflicts, while you are gaining a lot of power and status and respect for yourself. And you have a talent, a spiritual gift to recognize the truth in situations that will help you re-educate others. Where other people are led astray, you can bring them back again on their path and into truth. And where there are weakness, you will be able to restore strength and integrity. And I feel like many of you will be very good at debates. You know, you are the one that could really win a debate, and also help people see why your way of thinking really is a good way of a good philosophy in life. So I feel like you could become a spiritual teacher actually that can help people who feel lost to think in a certain way that will help them be successful, to bring them back again. I feel like you are someone who will help people who have been led astray and bring them back. Many of you will study history and you will study politics, you will study different belief systems that you can draw upon to help others, especially where there are a lack of direction and a lack of structure. That's where I feel like you have a real gift, and I feel like you'll help protect a certain way of life actually. And many of you will, as a result, become teachers. And many of you, I feel, also will write books and become life coaches. And there are many ways you can influence people. So what I think would be really good for you in group 3 here is to send out a prayer to the Creator that you are being, that you get to influence people in the highest and best way, either through politics, through writing, through philosophy, through spiritual teaching or skill developing or training. Whatever it is that is best for you, whatever is in the highest and best interest for you and all of those involved. Because I feel like with number 3 is there's so much that can be done in so many different ways, and that's where you could get a bit lost yourself. But you will understand your own nature, and that's how you'll help understand how other people can find themselves, and that's your spiritual gift. Okay, for group 4, you get frilled neck lizards. Frilled neck lizard. And people who pick group 4, you have some spiritual gifts involving recuperation of both the physical and emotional. And it's the way it works is often the emotional gets healed first and then the physical follows. So healing your emotional wounds and also helping others as well. That actually helps you heal physical traumas or physical. It's emotional trauma causing physical suffering. So that can mean like emotional pain sitting in the body causing physical pain. So understanding how that works, that dynamic. People that are connected to lizard energy are very connected to the earth, and they're often very old souls. They've been here many times before. Once you clear up old, everything that's old, like old anger, old resentments, old grudges, that is part of you overcoming your feelings of limitations and self-worth issues. That is your skills and talents. So if you feel like you haven't mastered that yet, then certain things will trigger those issues until you get into dealing with it, because that's part of your spiritual gifts, is to heal emotional pain, and especially around rejection, anger and frustration and resentments, and in some cases hatred as well. That sits in the body. It sits often in the bladder and kidneys, liver, gallbladder. So all that, once that heals, that will free up so much energy in the body. That will create new opportunities for you, especially when it comes to inspiration. And that will come through writing, painting. I feel like a lot of you will become artists and working in the creative field. And there's going to be also inspiration from nature in your work. Some of you will become decorators, fashion designers, authors, painters, photographers, creating with, whatever it is that inspires you. But I think what you have in common in group 4 is that you all deal with some old emotional pain that will free up your creativity. Some of you will also be very interested in conservation of the environment, but I feel like there's going to be a combination of working with the environment and your creativity. Okay, group 5. For those of you who pick group 5, you get gargoyle. And gargoyle symbolizes protection, both spiritual and physical protection. So you are a protector and a guardian of the most vulnerable, most likely, or people who are in need of protection. You can help people feel safe and secure. And I feel like for many of you, you will have gone through some transformation. You will have to face your own fears and uncertainties, and maybe some of you have had trust issues and you've had to release a lot of these fears, doubts and disbeliefs. And many of you had to get out of your comfort zone. You were pushed most likely to the limit, and you'd have to go and try something new even though it was frightening. Many of you are very sensitive, and you could have also felt very a bit defensive, especially when it comes to what people are saying and thinking, and that is something that you will overcome if you haven't already, and you will help other people shield themselves, and also be shielded from negative energies, negative projections. You will help people clear their energies, fears and worries, especially around feelings of insecurities, hypersensitivities, and many people feel very unloved and fearful. And this is where these are the issues where you will help people actually feel more secure within themselves. Some of you could wanting to protect the most vulnerable in some ways. So you could choose, even in your career, you could choose a path where you get to advocate for someone who can't advocate for themselves, or help someone who can't help themselves, or protect a group of people as well. That's part of your protection. So even if look at what you're drawn to doing in your career, because a lot of you in group 5 will be very drawn to do some kind of protection work. Even clearing up people's misconception because of all the lies that are circulating. People get pulled into all kinds of situations because they're being manipulated. I feel like you're kind of someone who likes to help people, even very subtle, just like guiding people very subtle towards a path that is much more truthful and safe for themselves. But in the end, people that picked group 5, they have spiritual gifts in protecting others. They are guardians, they're caregivers, and also they kind of work in secret as well. I feel like many people do this more, having people's backs, even when they don't even know. This is something that comes completely natural to a lot of you. You're just always there, sticking your neck out for people, I feel, and give people that extra backup when they need it. Okay, group 6. You get Undine, the water fairy. She's a water spirit, and so that means that you're most likely a healer. Many of you will feel drawn to help the ocean and work with the ocean, do help marine life. And many of you also will feel drawn to helping people heal their emotions. So you could be an emotional healer, help people heal deep suppressed emotional pain, especially around the heart, and work with the inner child, help heal the inner child, and help people heal from relationships. So many of you could specialize in therapy, helping people heal from narcissistic abuse. You have a very purified spirit as well, so people will be drawn to you. And you also help people purify themselves. Many of you will be very, very psychic, actually, and in tune. And there could be more than one life purpose for you, but I think one is to help people heal from painful relationships where they've been treated terribly, and they have but there's more to it. I feel like you can kind of connect you can connect the dots, and you'll get to the original pain. You get to the original painful experiences felt in the person, and that could be including a past life. So your spiritual gift is to heal the inner pain and purify the heart and get the person ready to love again. And also I feel like many of you are drawn to help marine life as well. So Undine, she's a water spirit, and when you get like either a fairy or an elemental like this, and there is a strong connection to nature. Okay. 7. You get Phoenix. So you're very good at reinventing yourself. Phoenix is a symbol of rising above the ashes. So the ashes, symbolizes the old, and the phoenix is reborn by the flames. Is the new life, is a new way of living. And Phoenix speaks of having spiritual gifts in healing properties and also reinventions as well, and seeing opportunities where other people have lost their way. So you can help people seek a new life for themselves where they feel perhaps that they have reached rock bottom. You're very good at helping people get out of trouble, for example, and redirect their thinking onto a more prosperous path. You have had to release your own fears, and you had to explore opportunities for yourself where you could have possibly felt like you too were faced with no options and you had to think outside the box. Your psychic senses are going to be enhanced as well, and there's going to be a lot of spiritual growth in this lifetime, and part of you will lead by example. Some of you will be very interested in healing, any type of healing modality. Many of you are also very connected to crystals and flowers and fragrances. And also some of you will study alchemy as well. Some of you will go more onto a religious path. There's a strong connection here to Christ consciousness. And your prayers are very powerful. You're a very good manifester. You're a master manifester as well. And you are learning about your own unlimited potential. So for some of you, you are great motivators, and that's part of your spiritual gifts. You are helping others realizing their unlimited potential. Okay, those of you who picked 8, you get Dove. And your spiritual gifts is forgiveness and also faith. So you've most likely had to forgive someone in your life, and now you have a spiritual gift, and also you can help others learn how to forgive more easier. You've had to overcome some isolation of the heart and feelings of disconnectedness and abandonment from the Creator. And I feel like if you haven't already healed this is what you will heal in this lifetime. And this is also what you have spiritual gifts in doing. So it's going to be easier than you think. You have learned to forgive. You have learned to have hope. You have learned to overcome obstacles of the heart especially. And loneliness as well. And that will help you connect with people who have similar emotional issues of feeling isolated and feeling lonely, and help draw people out of that mindset. You're very sensitive to people's needs. You understand people. You are a healer. And you help people finish what they've started. People get very easily distracted. You know how to resonate a light to others, so that they start believing in the good in the world again. And you also need to believe in yourself and in your own light. There's going to be a divine intervention in your life so that you will realize your own spiritual gifts and the light within you, so that you can understand your own heart and your own soul, so that you can become more of who you are, which is a very beautiful person. And I feel like in this lifetime you will experience many miracles. Whatever you focus your mind on, you will have more of. So when you focus on love and light and connectedness, that's what you will have. And your prayers too are very powerful. You pray with your heart. You often pray for others more than you pray for yourself. They say that, I think maybe a lot of you will feel, you feel a bit guilty when you pray for yourself, but they say, don't be afraid to pray for yourself, because once you are happy and secure and fulfilled, other people benefit from that as well. Okay, so for those of you who chose 9, you get whale. So that means that you are most likely a very complex person, and you have a lot you need to communicate. You're a very good communicator as well. And I feel like you have your spiritual gift is that you see how everything is connected, and I feel like you can see way ahead, much further than other people, and you can kind of see how things are connected and how it most likely will unfold. And because of that, you have a strong need to communicate, I feel, certain messages to the world. And I also feel like you have clairaudient abilities as well. And many of you will have talents in speaking with your spirit guides and angels, and also learning languages. And also, I feel like you have a great memory. You have a lot of compassion and love in your heart. Many of you will be drawn to understanding the natural world and animals, and you could have had a past life in shamanic healing, and some of you still have those abilities and will relearn those skills. You have a spiritual gift in balancing your physical energy and your emotional body. And you could have learned that through some lessons in having the opposites, because that's often how we learn. It's by having the opposite, and you'd have to master emotional balance by having a turbulent emotional life. Tension and stressful emotions could have built up over time, and you have to learn to release. But I feel like a lot of you have a strong need to understand, your soul and other people as well, and how everything is connected and how everything is most likely will evolve into the future. Some of you will go into science, and some of you will go into medicine, and some of you will go into more alternative healing modalities. Some of you will feel drawn into museums and libraries and research facilities, while others will go into shamanism, regression therapy, alternative healing, and whatever field you choose to go into, it is because you want to understand the world, and you want to understand how the past affect the world today and what is most likely to happen to us in the future. And I feel like if you develop your clairaudient abilities and your emotional literacy, your communication with the Creator will become very strong, especially if you meditate as well and do and work with prayers and set your intentions. You can get a lot of information and channel your work, and you'll get a lot of you get to the end result of where you want to be faster, meaning I feel like you're going to end up evolving your work beyond what you thought you could in this lifetime. That's what they're saying. Okay guys, now I'm going to do 1, 2 or 3 here, and we're going to have a look at a few clarifiers. So this is for the bundles. If you haven't subscribed yet and you want to get longer videos and get access to my courses, then please subscribe, guys. So click in the description bar and you get the full video. Bye.